It starts innocently enough. You hear about someone who made thousands in a single day. You download an app. Just to see what it's about. Just to try it once. Before you know it, you're checking your phone every 5 minutes. During dinner. During work. At 3 a.m. Your heart races with every price movement. You tell yourself you'll stop after one more trade. But you never do. This is the addiction nobody talks about. And it's destroying lives in plain sight. Trading addiction isn't new, but it's never been more accessible. Or more dangerous. 30 years ago, if you wanted to gamble on the markets, you needed a broker, a phone call, and substantial capital. There were barriers. Time to think. Time to reconsider. Today, you can lose your life savings in the time it takes to order a coffee. The average person now has instant access to stocks, options, forex, cryptocurrencies, and futures. 24 hours a day. 7 days a week. With leverage that can multiply both your gains and your losses by 50 times or more, and here's what makes it truly insidious: your brain can't tell the difference between this and pulling a slot machine lever. Neuroscientists have found that the same reward pathways light up. The same dopamine floods your system. The same addiction mechanisms activate. But unlike gambling, trading disguises itself as investing. As financial literacy. As building your future. It's socially acceptable. Encouraged, even. Which makes it the perfect addiction to hide in plain sight. So how does someone go from curious beginner to compulsive trader? Let's follow Alex's story. Alex starts with $200 and beginner's luck. That first win feels incredible. Not just because of the money, because it feels like control. Like they've cracked the code. They're smarter than everyone else. That rush. That's dopamine. The same chemical released when you eat your favorite food, or fall in love, or use cocaine. And here's the cruel trick: the brain doesn't reward you consistently. It rewards you randomly. Psychologists call this variable ratio reinforcement, and it's the most addictive pattern known to science. It's why slot machines work. And it's exactly what trading provides. Alex wins. Then loses. Then wins big. Then loses small. The unpredictability keeps them hooked, always chasing that next high, convinced the big win is just one trade away. But there's more happening beneath the surface. Trading addiction exploits every cognitive bias we have. Confirmation bias makes us see patterns that aren't there. The sunk cost fallacy keeps us throwing good money after bad. Loss aversion makes losing feel twice as painful as winning feels good, so we take increasingly desperate risks to avoid that pain. Within months, Alex isn't trading to make money anymore. They're trading to feel something. To escape. To prove they're not a failure. The activity itself becomes the drug. And like any addict, they develop tolerance. The same size trade that once gave them a thrill now barely registers. So they increase the stakes. More leverage. Riskier positions. Bigger bets. So how do you know if you or someone you love has crossed the line from trading to addiction? Here are the red flags that experts identify. First, preoccupation. You think about trading constantly. You check prices compulsively, even when you have no positions open. You can't focus on anything else. Work suffers. Relationships suffer. Sleep suffers. Second, tolerance. You need to trade larger amounts or take bigger risks to feel the same excitement. What used to be a thrilling trade now feels routine. Third, loss of control. You've tried to stop or cut back but can't. You set rules for yourself: no trading after 9 p.m., no more than 5% of your account per trade, and you break them repeatedly. Fourth, trading to escape. You're not trading to make money anymore. You're trading to relieve anxiety, avoid problems, or escape negative feelings. The moment you feel stressed, your hand reaches for your phone. Fifth, lying and hiding. You minimize your losses to loved ones. You hide your trading activity. You've deleted and reinstalled your trading app multiple times, telling yourself, this time is different. Sixth, chasing losses. This is the big one. You've lost money, and instead of stopping to reassess, you immediately make another trade to try to win it back. This revenge trading almost always leads to bigger losses, and finally, financial consequences you can't afford. You've blown through your emergency fund. You're using rent money. You've taken out loans or maxed out credit cards to keep trading. You're one bad trade away from financial ruin. If you recognize yourself in 3 or more of these signs, it's time to take this seriously. The financial losses are obvious. People lose tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes everything they have, but the true cost goes far deeper. Relationships crumble. Partners feel betrayed and lied to. Children grow up with a distracted, stressed parent who's always on their phone. Friends drift away because you've cancelled plans one too many times to watch the market close. Mental health deteriorates. Studies show that problem traders have significantly higher rates of anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation. In 2020, a 20-year-old trader died by suicide after mistakenly believing he'd lost over $700,000 on a trade. He hadn't, but the psychological toll had become unbearable. Careers stall or end. It's impossible to perform at your job when half your attention is on a trading screen. People get fired for trading at work, or they simply stop trying to advance because all their mental energy goes to the market, and physical health suffers too. The constant stress, the cortisol flooding your system, the disrupted sleep, the neglected exercise and nutrition, all of it takes a toll. Heart problems. Digestive issues. Chronic pain. Trading addiction doesn't just empty your bank account. It hollows out your entire life. So what do you do if you recognize yourself in this story? First, understand this: you're not weak. You're not stupid. You're not a failure. You're experiencing a real addiction to a deliberately addictive system. The same way gambling addicts aren't weak, they're up against an industry that's had decades to perfect the art of exploitation. Step 1: seek professional help. Therapists who specialize in gambling addiction are equipped to help with trading addiction. Cognitive behavioral therapy has shown excellent results. There are also support groups, both in person and online, specifically for trading addiction. In the U.S., you can call the National Council on Problem Gambling helpline at 1-800-522-4700. In the UK, there's GamCare. Most countries have resources available. Step 2: create barriers. Delete every trading app from your phone. Close your trading accounts or have someone you trust change the passwords. Remove the ability to make impulsive trades. Yes, you could reopen them, but that friction, that extra step, gives your rational brain time to engage. Step 3: get financial accountability. Work with a financial advisor or have an honest conversation with a trusted friend or family member about your situation. Consider giving someone else temporary control of your finances while you recover. Step 4: replace the addiction. That time you spent trading, that mental energy, it needs to go somewhere. Find healthier ways to experience challenge and reward. Exercise. Learn an instrument. Build something. Volunteer. Your brain needs stimulation, give it healthier sources. Step 5: address the underlying issues. Most addictions are symptoms, not the disease itself. What were you trying to escape? What need was trading fulfilling? Boredom? A sense of purpose? Control in a chaotic life? You need to address these root causes, or you'll just trade one addiction for another. And understand that recovery isn't linear. You might slip up. You might make one more trade. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. What matters is the overall trajectory, moving toward health, one day at a time. Trading itself isn't evil. For some people, with proper education, risk management, and emotional regulation, it can be a legitimate part of a diversified investment strategy. But for others, for many others, it becomes a trap. An addiction dressed up as ambition. A slot machine disguised as a spreadsheet. The market will always be there. The opportunities will always exist. But your life, your relationships, your mental health, your one chance at this existence, those are finite. Those are precious. If you're struggling, please hear this: it's okay to stop. It's okay to admit you can't do this in a healthy way. That's not weakness.